I worked in a company where I was transferred to a managerial position. I gathered a great team in a year, but everything changed when a new, attractive employee joined us. My wife, who has never been jealous, began to suspect me, and our relationship began to collapse. One incident at team building was the beginning of serious problems, after which I was faced with a choice: to keep the marriage or calm my wife down by dismissing a colleague. I thought I was in control of everything, but soon I realized that this was just the beginning. I know it's a whole sheet, but it's necessary. My marriage may be at stake. Guys, help me out? My wife and I have been married for 2 years, together for 8 years. She was never jealous until this situation happened recently. I got a new job about a year ago. This is a management position, and it requires a lot of recruiting. I'm pretty good at creating a team. I need to move forward, and I'm already close to it. I earn great money doing my own thing, and as a result I can provide me and my wife with a much higher standard of living. In general, one of my recent recruits is a young girl. She complemented my team perfectly. She shows excellent results, is easy to learn, and generally fun to work with her in the office. And yes, she is very attractive. But I'm faithful, I love my wife, and would never do anything inappropriate. My wife hates her. I'm not used to her behavior. In the past, I had female friends and colleagues, and also attractive. It has never been a problem. But this girl, damn it. We quarrel all the time. Communication is part of team building and team management. Such activities are encouraged by senior management, which even covers the costs of the evenings to hang out with the team in an informal setting. We welcome if team members bring their spouses. About 3 weeks ago, we were supposed to spend one of these evenings, but most of my team was on a business trip. There was only a new one, and another new guy left in the city, and he merged. My wife used to join us, but she was busy at work. So, in the end, my new one and I stayed alone, ate wings, and drank a little. My wife called and said she was done and can join, but I decided that since everyone broke up, maybe she shouldn't come because my new one was completely green, and I didn't want her to feel like the third wheel. My wife didn't like it. To top it all off, the new girl decided to giggle and said loudly, "Go back to bed." My wife got angry, but arguing with her on the phone in the presence of an employee is unprofessional, so I kind of interrupted her and said it was time for me to go. I intended to smooth out the situation later. I also, by the way, told my new girlfriend that it was actually not funny and also inappropriate, and I would be grateful if she adhered to higher professional standards in communicating with people related to our business in the future. When I got home, my wife was not in the mood, and in the end, during the scolding, I said something like she's not even attractive. You have nothing to worry about. And in general, I love only you. She's still angry, but she calmed down a bit and all that. The following week, I talked to several people in my office in an informal setting. In fact, I asked my team to get together for a second to discuss something. I only have to free chairs there. So they are busy, 2 are sitting on a low bookshelf in the depths, several people leaned against the walls, etc. The new girl comes in last, looks around, and sits on the farthest edge of the table from me. We are holding a meeting, everyone is leaving, except for the new one. She has a question about what I said. Naturally, she turns to me more as she talks to me. Well, okay. At this moment, my wife comes in with a phone charger and a Starbucks for me. And all she sees is like a newbie sitting on my table, bent over and talking to me. I've never seen my wife behave like that, but it was awkward. She put things on the nearest surface and just left. Well, I wasn't going to run after her. It would look ugly. So I finished the conversation with a colleague and then tried to call my wife. She didn't answer. Later I came back home and she's crying in the shower. I went into the bathroom, pushed back the curtain, and she literally sits on the floor in the shower, pressing her knees to her chest and crying. Why? It's ridiculous. I got angry and left. I called several work brothers and met them at the bar. And so, luck from luck, the new one appears with them because 2 of those I called were already with her. And she's dressed for 09. She takes a big group selfie and posts it on F********, social network banned in the Russian Federation. And you know what? Yes, his wife saw him, and she commented, "It's nice to see you having so much fun per second." To which the newcomer replies, "He is in good hands." And I know it sounds like a hint, but she swears it's not. I talked to her, and she really said it as an assurance, like, "Don't worry, he's in good hands," and didn't even think that it could be misinterpreted. Anyway, I come home, and my wife is crying again. She says that I deliberately pretend to be a felt boots and that it is obvious that this girl likes me and she deliberately creates problems, and I refuse to see it, or that I must really consider her my wife stupid. She asked if she could look at my phone. Are you kidding me? Of course. I answered no. Then she cried even more that I obviously have something to hide, especially because I lied about the attractiveness of a newcomer. Now for the last 2 days she has been punishing me with silence. What the fuck? I didn't do anything wrong. And the new one is a good worker. I can't fire her or something like that because of my wife. What the fuck does she want from me? No one has done anything wrong. Okay. Guys, obviously you all consider me at best the stupidest person in the world and at worst some kind of dick-headed monster. First of all, I would never sleep with this colleague, and although yes, I can admit that objectively she is physically attractive, but she does not attract me, especially after all the drama she gave me just with her existence. Secondly, I'm not a bad husband. We lived 8 wonderful years together, went through some difficulties, and came out of them stronger than ever. I've just never been in a situation like this. I'm pretty average. In fact, my wife is very attractive, and usually I'm the one who feels insecure. But I've never made my insecurity her problem. Thirdly, I'm ready to admit that some of you may be right about what is happening. If it's so obvious to many people, including my wife, I'm not so arrogant to say that you're all wrong and I'm right. After all, I wrote all this for a reason. Finally, I'm still not sure what to do. We don't have a HR department as we are still a small company. Basically, it's my boss to other employees of my level and our teams. Judging by what you say, I'm a little afraid that it will turn against me if the newcomer wants revenge or something like that. I didn't do anything inappropriate, but I'm a higher in position and a man. And considering how I obviously ruined everything, how will my wife react if this girl tries to make claims against me for the fact that I fired her or something like that? Well, I've been talking to my wife all day since the publication. I followed some of your advice and phrases. I apologized. I tried to be sympathetic, but she wasn't interested in what I wanted to say, although, nevertheless, she's talking to me, so I think it's already something. According to the plan, the newcomer will perform tasks that require her to be outside the office and under the supervision of another person in the next couple of days, so for now we will not communicate until everything is settled. I'm on my way home now. I would wish me luck, but I doubt you will do it. I'll let you know the news later. Everything went about as expected. I explained that I didn't really understand this whole situation, but now I understand. I showed her this post. I apologized and said I was ready to do everything possible to fix the situation. I convinced her again and again that I didn't cheat on her. She's not sure if she believes me about cheating or that I honestly didn't understand what I did wrong, but in any case, it hurts her incredibly. After long discussions, tears, and pleas on my part, here's what she wants from me, spaces. She wants me to move out for a while, and she doesn't have a specific time when I can come back. Consultations for both of us as a couple and separately. She says that this incident is not the first time I can't look at things from her point of view and as a result hurt her. And not only that, but she feels that she needs help to trust me again. Like many of you, she believes, to put it mildly, that the newcomer should leave far, far away. And she wants me to explain to this girl why, and she wants her to hear it somehow too. I don't know how to do it. It seems to me that it crosses some line professionally, regardless of whether I wanted or not. Finally, she said she doesn't know what will happen to us next, even if I do all these things. She cried a lot, which is not surprising. I feel terrible, scared, and damn stupid. I love my wife. I haven't been showing it very well lately. Now I understand it. But I really don't want to lose her. Tomorrow I will talk to the boss about what is better to do in this situation, to fire her or transfer her to another position or something like that. My wife wants to be fired, period. Let's see what I can do. I'm at the motel now. I talked to my father and he told me that I was an idiot and had to do whatever it would take to fix the situation. My parents love my wife very much. Thanks again, guys. I didn't know how bad everything was. Only God knows how much worse it could be. I know I'm answering late, but it was that day. The newcomer accepted her dismissal, okay? She strongly denied that her behavior was inappropriate. She also expressed dissatisfaction with the fact that this is unfair since other people in the office are also joking. At that moment, my boss spoke, saying that others were not joking like that and that I had already warned her about the inappropriateness of such behavior. She again denied that her remark that I was in safe hands was nothing more than an innocent mistake. My boss intervened again and said that as a new employee she is still on probation and therefore he can fire her without explanation if he wants to, and that he simply does not consider her suitable. He, so to speak, returned the ball to me and asked if I agreed, and I said yes, we agree. She just shrugged her shoulders and said, well, then I don't know what to say. Goodbye, I guess. And then, when she packed her things and left, she threw a stock at me that, they say, only in my dreams she would be interested in me. My wife listened to the recording. I don't think it was what she wanted. She looked disappointed. I think she wanted me to really scum this girl. And maybe I should have done it. But then my boss intervened, and we tried to get rid of her without rocking the boat. The wife was happy that that girl was no more. But then everything went somehow strange. I was confused because I thought that's exactly what she wanted. As a result, she burst into tears and said that she was still afraid that I would see her, especially since I live in a motel. Who knows what I'm doing? She doesn't know what to think anymore. When I'm not at home, she has to trust me. But now she doesn't trust me. So I said that there was nothing to worry about, as if my words had any meaning, and that if she wanted to, I would stay in the house, but in our guest room or something like that. It didn't help either because she doesn't want me to be here now. Then I just admitted that I really don't know what to do. She said she doesn't know what she wants either. As a result, I decided to call my parents and ask if I could live with them for a while. They said everything was fine. My wife also liked this option, probably because then I will be under supervision. I tried not to be offended by this because I know that I'm wrong and I should just accept it. While we were sitting on the couch and talking, she asked me to just hug her. I tried to do it before, but she pushed me away. Anyway, I hugged her. Then we kissed, then, etc., etc. I'll let you finish it yourself. But soon I was kicked back to pack my things from the motel and go to my parents. She said that, of course, she still loves me, but that she is still angry, offended, and not sure of everything, regardless of what happened today. Seeing how painful she is and how she is afraid that I no longer have her, I realized how bad a person I have been lately, and not even only in this scenario. She was very patient with me, and I fucked everything up. I reread my original post, and I was ashamed of how selfish I was. After I moved to my parents, my wife, and I started a period of distance, I understood that it was necessary so that she could cool down and sort out her feelings. I called her every day to find out how she was doing, but the conversations were short and tense. The wife often said that she needed time to understand what she wanted. It made me feel guilty. About a week after I left, she offered to meet for a conversation. We chose a cafe where we often spent time before. The meeting started awkwardly. Both were silent, not knowing how to start. Finally, I started talking about how bad I feel without her and how I regret what happened. She replied that her feelings for that incident were still alive. She said that it was difficult for her to trust me because of my communication with a newcomer and that it caused her jealousy and fears. I tried to explain that there was nothing between me and the new employee, but it didn't convince her. She insisted that the situation itself was simply unacceptable. We talked about the attitude towards each other. My wife admitted that she sometimes feels insecure about her attractiveness and my interest in other women. It was a revelation for me because I never thought that I could undermine her confidence so much without even thinking about it. During the next few meetings, we discussed our feelings and experiences. Once she offered to undergo a joint consultation, I agreed, although I felt some uncertainty about it. It seemed to me that this would be a signal of our weakness, not strength. Counseling helped us open up to each other and discuss many problems that accumulated in our marriage. I realized that her dissatisfaction with my behavior with the newcomer was only the tip of the iceberg. There were other incontentions and grievances that prevented us from living peacefully. However, we soon faced other difficulties. My wife began to demonstrate her independence more and more, and I noticed that her mood fluctuated. Sometimes she was full of hope, and sometimes she fell into depression. On one such day, she said that she felt that we needed more time to be away from each other and offered to break up, at least temporarily. This thought shocked me. I always hoped that we could restore our marriage, but now it became clear to me that her inner demons are too strong. I felt that this could lead us to the final breakup. I tried to persuade her to stay together, to talk about how important she is to me, but she was determined. We began to make a decision to live separately for a longer period. It was emotionally difficult for both of them. In the following months, my wife and I continued to consult separately. I began to pay more attention to my own problems, past mistakes, uncertainty, and temperament. I started working on myself, communicating with friends more often and getting support if possible. Meanwhile, she also took part in her consultations, which helped her build basic skills of self-development and the search for self-confidence. However, at the same time, she still didn't know what to do with her feelings for me. Towards the end of the year, we both came to the conclusion that although love was still present, the relationship had become too complicated and confusing to be happy together. In the end, after much deliberation, we made a difficult decision to divorce. It was against our will because for 8 years together we had a lot of unforgettable moments, but in the end it was the right choice. Despite the pain of parting, we managed to maintain friendly relations, trying to avoid unnecessary conflicts. None of us wanted to leave a negative mark on the other's life. After a while, we were even able to meet for a cup of coffee to discuss our new lives and ways. The difficult path led to positive changes in our lives. Each of us has gradually become more independent. I wrote this post to remind everyone, sometimes relationships can break down despite their efforts. The main thing is to learn from your mistakes and strive for development, even if it means following different paths.